Once upon a time there was a poor miller who had a beautiful daughter. One time, by chance, I was able to talk to the king. To get the king and number 39's attention, he said, "Your Majesty, I have a daughter who can turn straw into gold." The king told the miller, "That is a profession that few people can do, and that profession is very valuable to me. But what you said, your child is indeed very clever. Tomorrow you bring him to the palace, I want to test his skills." When the girl arrived, the king pointed her into a room filled with straw, ordered the reel and core to be brought back, and said, "Now you do it, from night until tomorrow morning if you can, and number 39's turn all this straw into gold. Then you are guilty of death by guillotine." Then the king himself closed the chamber door, leaving the girl alone in there. The miller and number 39's daughter was truly pitiful. She sat in a daze, unable to think of any way to escape death. You Don and number 39's know how to spin straw into gold. Her fear increased, and she finally burst into tears. Suddenly the door slowly opened, a little person walked in and said, "Hello miller and number 39's daughter, why are you sobbing like that?" She replied, "Oh my God, you have to spin straw into gold, you Don and number 39's know that." The little man said, "What will you give me if I spin straw into gold for you?" The girl replied, "I would like to give you my necklace." The little person received the necklace, then sat down next to the spinning wheel and spun, the sound of the spinning wheel buzzing, only turning 3 times to fill the tube. The little person inserts another tube, turns it 3 times, and the second tube is full again. Just like that until morning. By morning, when all the straw was finished spinning, all the tubes were full of golden thread. As soon as the sun rose in the east, the king arrived. Seeing the gold, the king was surprised, but in his heart he was so happy that his greed emerged again. The king ordered her to be taken to another larger room, stacked with straw to the roof, and ordered that if she wanted to live, she had to turn all that straw into gold one night. The girl didn't and 39's know what to do, so she sat down and cried. This time the door slowly opened again, a little person appeared and said, "What will you give me if I spin straw into gold for you?" The girl replied, "I would like to give you my ring." The little man received the ring and began to spin the reel, the sound of the reel buzzing steadily. From night to morning, he finished spinning all the straw in the room into shiny golden threads. Looking at the pile of gold threads, the king was overjoyed, but his craving for gold was not yet satisfied. The king took the miller and number 39's daughter to another, larger room, with straw piled up to the roof. The king ordered, "You must turn the wheel for the rest of the night. If you complete it, you will be my queen." The king thought to himself, "Although she is just a daughter of a miller, where can I find a richer wife in this world?" When she was alone in the room, the third time the little man came and said, "What will you give me if this time I also spin straw into golden thread for you?" The girl replied, "I have nothing left to give you. So will you agree to promise me that if you become queen, you will give me your first child?" The miller and number 39's daughter thought to herself, "Who knows where life will go? But I Don and number 39's know how to do it. I and number 39's am at a loss right now." She promised to do as the little person acts. Once again, the little man spun straw into golden thread for her. The next morning, the king came and saw that everything was completed as he expected, so he married the miller and number 39's daughter. So she became queen. A year later, the queen gave birth to a very handsome baby and forgot all about her promise to the little person. While I was so happy, suddenly the little person appeared and said, "Now give me what you promised before." The queen was frightened and frightened. She asked the little man to let her have her child. She was willing to exchange all the wealth and jewels in the kingdom for her child. The little man replied, "No, all the wealth in this world is not as precious to me as the slightest movement of life." Not knowing what to do now, the queen burst into tears, sobbing so much that the little person felt sorry for her and said, "Well, I and number 39'll give you a 3-day appointment, and when you get there, if you know my name, you and number 39'll be fine. Get to keep the child." So the queen tossed and turned all night trying to remember the names she had heard, and even sent messengers around the country to inquire about any other names in the people. The next day, the little man came. The queen told the names she knew: Caspar, the king and number 39's gold treasure keeper; Mencior, the king of light; Banks, heaven and number 39's blessing. She told them all in turn. Different names. After hearing each name, the little person said, "My name is not like that." On Monday, the queen sent people around the neighborhood to ask if there were any other names. Then, she told the little person about the rare and strange names. "Could it be that your name is Ripe and Bit, Thin Ribs, Hatnelvade, Lamb Thigh, or Snooyabe, Stork Leg?" But the little person always replied, "My name is not like that." The third day the messenger returned and said, "I did not find any new names. But when I reached a high mountain in the corner of the forest, where it was very quiet, I saw a small house. In front of the house is a burning fire, a funny-looking little person jumping around the fire, hopping on one leg and singing, 'Today bake cakes, tomorrow brew beer, tomorrow go pick up the king and number 39's son and bring him back to be happy.' Who knows? The name and quat, rubbish and quat, is lucky this trip." Do you know how happy the queen was when she heard that name? Just a moment later the little man walked in and asked, "So now the queen knows my name?" The queen pretended to ask again, "Is your name Gun, Bold? Not. Is your name Hanks, Hung Kwang? Not. Perhaps your name is Rumpensteinexen, Rubbish? Only the devil tells you to know, only the devil tells you to know." He was so angry that he screamed loudly, stood and stomped on the ground. He stomped so hard that his body sank deeply into the ground. Thank you for joining us for today's fairy tale. We hope these stories bring joy and meaning to your day. If you love our channel, please hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any exciting tales. Wishing you a good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next story.